Hey man, let's take a minute and talk about something that doesn't always grab the headlines, but actually holds a ton of weight when it comes to the NFL draft: the 30 visits. You've probably heard that term tossed around a lot, especially this time of year, but what does it really mean for the Cowboys? So here's the deal. Every NFL team gets to bring in up to 30 prospects for what's called a top 30 visit. This isn't just a friendly meet and greet or some surface-level handshake. These are full-on evaluations, in-person interviews, medical checkups, chalk talk, character assessments, all of it. And while it doesn't guarantee the Cowboys will draft these guys, it's a strong sign they're seriously considering them. Now pair that with Dallas Day, where local players with ties to the state of Texas or nearby colleges come in for an extra look. That's a bonus pool of talent the Cowboys love tapping into. But the 30 visits? That's where they place their big bets. But here's where things get tricky. Not all visit reports are created equal. There's a lot of smoke this time of year, and fans like us get bombarded with rumors. That's why it matters who you trust. One of the most reliable names out there? Nick Harris, who works directly for DallasCowboys.com. When he reports a player is visiting, you can pretty much set it in stone. He's not a content creator throwing darts at the wall. He's coming with real confirmation, and that means something. Now let me ask you this. Do you think these visits really reflect who the Cowboys are planning to pick? Or is it all just a smokescreen to throw other teams off? Drop your take in the comments. And let's run a quick poll. Do 30 visits matter? Yes, it shows real interest. Nah, it's all smoke and mirrors. Vote and tell me why you chose your side. All right. Now that we're clear on what the 30 visits are and why they matter, let's dive into the real stars of the list. The guys who could come in and shake up this roster from day one. All right, now that you've got the inside scoop on how these visits work, let's talk about the names that are making noise, the ones that really matter. I'm talking about prospects who don't just fill a roster spot. These are guys who could change the game in Dallas from day one. Let's start with Emeka Egbuka. If you've watched Ohio State, you know this name already. Egbuka is as polished as they come. Smooth route runner, dependable hands, and explosive after the catch. This dude checks a lot of boxes. Some scouts even say he's more NFL ready than some of the receivers projected to go ahead of him. Imagine lining him up next to CeeDee and Brandon Cooks. That's trouble for any defense. Then there's Kelvin Banks, the offensive lineman out of Texas. Banks isn't just versatile, he's elite at multiple spots. He played left tackle at a high level, but he could easily slide inside if needed. With the current state of the O-line in Dallas having a plug-and-play guy like Banks, that's a luxury the Cowboys can't ignore. Andrew Mukuba, the safety from Clemson, might be one of the most underrated names on the list. And I get it. Safety isn't usually a sexy pick. But Mukuba brings something different. He plays fast, hits hard, and has the kind of awareness that could instantly raise the floor of this defense. Honestly, he could walk in and be the best safety on the roster right now. Now let's talk about Walter Nolan. Big-time defensive tackle, raw power, and yeah, there are some Maisie Smith comparisons floating around. But Nolan has a different kind of juice. He's got the athleticism to chase down plays sideline to sideline. If the Cowboys are serious about getting tougher up front, this kid needs to be in the conversation. Last but definitely not least, Luther Burden. Man, this guy plays like he's got Des Bryant's spirit in him. Physical, emotional, and absolutely fearless at the catch point. There's some concern about his attitude, sure. We'll get into that later. But the talent, it's undeniable. So here's the question, straight up. Which of these names would you love to see rocking the star on their helmet next season? Vote in the poll right now and hit the comments. Who's your pick and why? Let's see who the real favorites are among Cowboys Nation. Now hang tight, because in the next part, we're shifting gears and focusing on something every fan loves: speed. I'm talking about the kind of players who can take it to the house on any given snap. Okay, now let's talk about the guys who bring fireworks to the field, the home run hitters, the ones who don't need a dozen plays to move the chains. Just give them one good look and boom, they're gone. First up, Tre'Veyon Henderson. If you've watched Ohio State, you know how electric he is. Sure, he's battled through some injuries, and that might scare off a few teams. But when healthy, he's a highlight reel waiting to happen. He's got that rare mix of burst, vision, and top-end speed that makes defenders miss, or just get completely dusted. Put him behind a solid O-line, and he could easily be one of the most dangerous backs in the league. Then there's Bashal Tootin, and let me tell you, this dude can fly. We're talking 4.29 in the 40-yard dash kind of speed. But it's not just straight-line burners. He's shifty, patient, and a real threat in the return game, too. If you're looking for someone to flip field position and take a handoff 60 yards, Tootin might be your guy. And don't sleep on Tyrone McMillan, or T-Mac, as most call him. He's been popping up more and more in Cowboys mock drafts, and for good reason. He's a big-bodied wide receiver who can stretch the field and win contested catches. That's a dangerous combo. He's not just fast, he's explosive. When T-Mac's on the field, safeties have to think twice before creeping up. Now let me throw it to you. Do you prefer a running back who wins with explosive speed or one who runs through people with power? Drop your answer in the comments with a hashtag, #Explosion or Dark Power. I'll be checking to see which side wins this one. Coming up next, we shift from the exciting to the uncertain. Let's talk about those prospects that divide opinions. Players with big-time upside and big-time risk. All right, now things get a little more complicated. Not every visit on the Cowboys list is a slam dunk. Some names come with warning labels, and this is where the draft can get tricky. You've got talent, for sure, but there are question marks, and the Cowboys might be willing to take a risk. Let's start with Marion Hampton. This one's gonna split opinions. He's a physical runner, has the size, the vision, and that alpha mindset you want in a feature back. But the debate is real. Is he worth a first-round pick? Some scouts love his upside. Others worry about whether he can create on his own without elite blocking in front of him. If the Cowboys are seriously looking at him, they're probably thinking long-term RB1. But man, that's a big bet. Then there's Shamar Stewart, a player with all the tools but not quite the production to match. He's built like a prototype, long, strong, athletic, but no one's really sure what position he fits best in at the next level. Is he an edge guy, a disruptive interior piece, or just a raw athlete still figuring things out? For Dallas, the upside is tempting. He could be a monster. But right now, it's all projection. And yes, Luther Burden makes another appearance here. He's that talented, but you can't ignore the concerns about his temperament. Some insiders point to attitude issues, inconsistency in effort, or problems staying focused. It's not uncommon for young, gifted receivers. Just think Dez Bryant early on. But is that a risk the Cowboys are willing to take again? So let me throw the big question your way. Would you use a premium draft pick on a player with off-field or consistency concerns if the talent was elite? Let's talk about it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Next up, we're wrapping things up with what's still to come. And the names that haven't been confirmed yet, but could still shake up everything. All right, now that we've gone through who's been confirmed, it's time to look ahead, because the list of 30 visits isn't complete yet. And some of the most intriguing possibilities? They're still out there. So let's talk about what's missing, and what it might mean for the Cowboys' draft plans. A lot of fans have been asking, where's Matthew Golden? The Houston WR has been electric. Strong hands, root polish, and a knack for getting open deep. He's not a burner, but he's smooth. And with the Cowboys clearly showing interest in receivers, his absence from the list so far is surprising. Is it a smokescreen? Or is Dallas just not as high on him as we thought? Then you've got Mason Graham, a defensive tackle who some believe is one of the safest picks in the draft. High motor, NFL-ready build, and a non-stop worker. He fits Dan Quinn's old mold perfectly, and even if the defense is shifting a bit now, Graham is the kind of guy who upgrades your rotation day one. If he doesn't get a visit, that might raise eyebrows. Another name fans keep bringing up is Tyler Booker, a versatile offensive lineman from Alabama. Physical, disciplined, can play inside or out. The Cowboys always talk about position flex, and Booker is textbook. No visit yet, but that could change fast. Now here's where it gets interesting. Reading between the lines. These 30 visits? They don't just show interest, they reveal strategy. The fact that Dallas is focusing so heavily on WRs and explosive playmakers suggests something bigger. They're aiming to reload, not rebuild. They want guys who can hit the ground running. But let me ask you this. Which player not on the 30 visits list do you want to see in Dallas? Drop your dream pick in the comments, and let's build our own version of the Bossy list together. Thanks for riding through this breakdown with me. If you've got draft fever, you're not alone. The next few weeks are going to be wild.